Hello and welcome to BetterQuest, the show about getting better and holding you accountable. Welcome everybody. I'm Ben Hanson, joined by Jeff Cork.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Really well. This is BetterQuest. Every month we set a personal goal for ourselves, and we encourage everybody in the community, like by doing this. Come on, do it. Come on. To join the BetterQuest community by supporting us on Patreon at any tier. You get access to the Discord, and then in the Discord, there is a wonderful BetterQuest channel where people are, we say the Discord is the friendliest place on the internet, and then the BetterQuest channel is like the friendliest sliver within that Discord. Yeah. It is unbelievably sweet. Everybody encouraging each other, giving updates, sharing new goals, all that fun stuff. There's also a spreadsheet where you can enter your goal and level up the community as well, depending on how many goals you've achieved. There's a whole system to it. So please set yourself a personal goal. And then if you want, you can also jump into that Discord and say hello, because people would love to see you and hear from you. And also, if you support us on Patreon, you can unlock the podcast version of BetterQuest for all these long, rambling discussions. Also, the podcast version of The Deepest Dive, early access to the MinnMax show, a podcast version of our interviews, and everything else under the sun. Right, Jeff Clark?
Hanson, I like trivia.
Oh my God. Welcome to PlugQuest, ladies and gentlemen. Trivia Tower is our new trivia show, and we have a new episode. The plan right now is to have it air on March 15th. And so if you want to compete in video game trivia and win some game codes at an Astro A50 headset as well, you can compete by supporting us. You can compete by supporting us at any tier on Patreon and then jumping in that Discord. It all takes place in the MinnMax Discord. Leave a comment on the YouTube video if you're confused about how this works. Jeff Cork, this is about getting better. This isn't about running down each and every little dumb show.
I want you to get better at your carnival hucksterism. It seems like you're getting better.
Yeah, that's the goal. There's still, my goal a while ago was to be a carnival huckster. But was that idea of like, I should make that PowerPoint presentation or slideshow and try and, get better about the business aspect of MinnMax overall. And that's still paying off. I still send out that slideshow probably 3 times a week, 4 times a week, maybe just like, maybe this company just reached out to him out of the blue. And so I'm getting a little bit better. And I did land. We got like a big sponsorship thing coming up in Cork. I don't think they're going to watch this. Please, I hope they won't watch this. I won't say who it is yet, but it's one of those things where it's just like, it'll cost this number. And they say, okay. And then deposit that number. It's a very weird thing to just be like, that was just a number that I just made up. But okay. It turns out that's how the business world turns, I think, is you just say numbers and other people say, I agree to that number.
Hey, check this out, Hanson.
Yeah.
Money isn't real.
Well, what do you mean?
I haven't thought about it beyond that. No one's ever asked a clarifying question. They were usually just blown away.
Do you ever have those things that sneak up on you as actually being, like potent? Like I remember in my Spanish class in college freshman year, there was this kid in front of me and he had a t-shirt that just said, time is an invention. I was like, okay, I get it. I got it, college buddy. But then like when I was staring at that shirt for an hour and a half throughout Spanish, I could not stop thinking about it. It's like, you know what? I'm glad that stupid shirt exists because it did make me think about it and changed my perspective just in a small way on the world.
Yeah, really made you think.
Think about the goals and the meaning of everything we're doing here. Jeff Cork, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Do you mean like in terms of my goal?
Before we
just
get
in general?
Let's go with in general. We don't have to get too specific, but are you feeling like this is a weird era for you in your life?
Yeah, definitely. Very interesting era. Lots of interesting, crazy stuff is happening, and we'll talk all about it later.
That sounds good. So how are you doing in terms of your goal? Which, let me remind everybody, last month you set the goal of, quote, increase the relationship quality and overall communication with my parents, which you defined your parents as Tim Turry and Dan Reichert, I believe. So how has that gone?
Well, I said specifically what I wanted to do is I wanted to like put the kibosh on weather chat.
Wait,
right?
I mean, I think you were setting the bar a little bit above that.
Yeah, but just to be a good boy, I think, ultimately, in the eyes of my parents. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
This is, in some ways, I feel like this goal is kind of, hear me out.
Oh, no.
Put in, check this cool reference out, carbonite. Okay. Because I think I talked to my parents, right? I didn't lay it out because I thought this is a very provocative thing to say, is to go like, hi, how are you doing? Incidentally, if you mention the weather, I'm going to hang up. That seems like it runs counter to my goal of having like better communication and a little better relationship with them, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to them, I think it was actually twice this month. One time we were getting close to weather and I don't remember what I did, but I was like, I kind of swerved him away. And the other time no weather came up. So that was not through anything on my part, right? That just is how the conversation went. But hear me out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go visit them in a couple of days in person. And I think that's one of the reasons, in all honesty, I was thinking about, I was like, you know what, to have like a big conversation just about the nature of our relationship over the telephone. Yeah. Which they could tell the entire time we're on the phone that I can't hang up quickly enough because I just don't enjoy talking on the phone to anyone. Right. Really?
You're a human being. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to like, while we're there, like the sun's going down one of these evenings at some dumb picnic table outside. And then I could be like, hey, you know what? Let's see if we could get a little deeper than just like superficial small talk. I would like that.
And they'll say, we'll try. And then it won't go anywhere from there.
I say, oh, I do declare it is getting hot.
No, then
you can going down.
Here's what you do. Then you unzip your hoodie and reveal your t-shirt that says time is an invention. You're like, I love it. Let's get beyond that small talk now, baby.
Absolutely. And I'll make sure that invention is spelled incorrectly. So if the sentiment doesn't get them, then maybe like they'll feel smart by pointing it out. And it'll be like another entry point for conversation.
You've always been so smart, Ma. So what you're saying is you didn't level up here. You're postponing your leveling?
I feel like I revved the engine pretty nicely for just a sweet jump in like 2 days.
Okay. All right. So maybe next month you're saying you'll have 2 level ups?
Well, 1 level up. I'll say, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no level ups this month, but I will level up this goal from this month, which will then be last month.
Okay.
And a new goal.
Okay, good. Because you know what our catchphrase is here at BetterQuest.
Level up or die.
Oh, I was going to say a level up. But
level
up. That's great. So my goal last month was to... first of all, stop doing this nervous tick. I've noticed this nervous tick.
Touching your head?
I scratch the back of my head when I'm feeling really anxious. I notice it in interviews. Yeah, in this bald spot. But I'm not balding. It's just that I'm actually so nervous, I just start clawing at the top of my skull. And it actually
you don't have hair on that spot.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, no, so my goal last month was basically a combo ultimate light fitness one, I guess would be what I would call it, where I said I was going to do 40 jumping jacks every day. I was going to get back into pull-ups. I was going to do 10 squats every time I went past the timed limit on all of the social apps on my phone. And I was going to do a core workout every day. And Cork, happy to say, I think I done did it. I'm giving myself that level on this one. Yeah. The toughest part for me was the phone app limit thing again. Because there are some days where I was just like, F it, ignore 15 minutes, just keep giving me that nonsense. There's a rough patch in there, and I just realized, like, okay, I'm going to have a squat-a-thon at the end of this month where I'm just doing as many squats as possible throughout the day. Even now, my legs are like sore, but I wasn't exact with the math, but I think I evened it out. And now it's like, I got in the kind of habit of just doing some good old squats every single day. But turns out jumping jacks, not bad. Like,
they're kind of fun.
Yeah. Were you doing them this last month too?
No.
Okay. I thought you said you were going to try, but that's fine. Well, it's a weird thing because I was like 40. That seems about right. Then you start doing it. It's like, I don't know. Like, I think I could do this for a long time. So I usually did like 80 or something like that. But I don't know. I guess, I don't know if I've ever done the amount of jumping jacks until I could not literally do one more jumping jack.
Jumping jacks are like exercise celery in a way.
Yes.
It doesn't seem like there's any value to them, but I guess it's good because you're moving around. It's like the opposite of jump roping for me. Where it's like, I can't do that to save my life. Like, even if I get, like, I clear the rope, I just get tired immediately.
It's brutal.
But you could probably hook wires up to me and I will keep the lights on with jumping jacks if necessary.
Yeah, jumping rope, by the way, jump rope. I'm going to keep that in mind for a future goal. I have it written down because it is a great workout. But so here's my question with, everybody in the comments and everything. Is like jumping jacks were great, but it was like a couple minutes where my heart rate would increase. Is that really worth anything? Or to get like the health benefits, don't you need to have your heart rate increase for like 30 minutes straight or something like that? Isn't there some science to that?
Check this out.
Yeah.
Rah!
Oh, God.
There you go. You did the equivalent of 60 jumping jacks right there.
Jesus. Now just keep doing that for 30 minutes straight. Hey, tell me if I'm losing my mind. I probably am because I think too much about MinnMax all day. But I was thinking, like, would it be a fun podcast someday, just like in the official MinnMax feed, to just like, the podcast is just me saying one sentence, like, I love leveling up. And then just slowing that down to like a 2-hour weird, like 24 hours of psycho thing, and then just putting that in the feed. Wouldn't that be insane? And then people can download it and speed it up just to figure out his one stupid sentence. Do you think there'll be a net positive or negative for MinnMax? Because people would talk about it.
Just put lo-fi in the description and it'll get 1 million hits.
Okay. Extended remix.
Yeah.
Okay. So then also I was, doing ab workouts every day, which it turns out are much better than doing like some intense YouTube core workout video, which was my goal a while ago, but just doing like a simple plank or just a simple raising my legs, twirling it around for a while until I get tired. Yeah. That feels great. But then the twist, Cork, is combining that with getting back into pull-ups. It's like when you're doing pull-ups and your ab is sore, it's a really weird combo. Basically, it hurts. If I had to put my I don't know, finger on it. But then, the weird thing is I got back into so let's just talk about everything about my body. I think I broke my finger ice skating in the beginning of January. I didn't think it was that bad, but the fact that it still hurts. The long story short, I finally got back into doing bench press stuff and getting back into that and feeling like, oh, I have lost so much of this muscle, but like regaining that quickly, combining that with doing pull-ups. I've never gotten really into the two of those at the same time. And so basically what I'm saying now is I feel like Superman. Like I feel like, oh, I've never been stronger. This is just the best to combine these two things and just really get weirdly obsessive about doing it every day, combined with, the squats and all that other stuff. So basically, Cork, I think I'm feeling pretty good.
That's great.
Thanks, man. How are you feeling physically?
Physically? Not super great. I had I was like, I should get a physical, like at a doctor's office. So I did that this week. And had blood drawn and all that business, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be miserable. It was mostly one of those kind of things where it's like you've neglected your car for a long time, and you're just like, just give me the number. It's going to be real gruesome. But everything was totally fine. I got the blood work. It came back like the next day, which was much faster than I thought.
Yeah. And
it was just like I was like, oh God, I probably have like a new level of diabetes that they're going to want to ask me a lot of questions or something. No, totally fine. Everything is fine, except my cholesterol is a little elevated, which is exciting podcast talk. But then they're like, oh, your liver seems to have some weird problems. So like, yeah, I could be dying no, it's not that like that or anything like that. But they're saying that they're like, she was laying out all these different things that it could be. And it was just like, oh, cool. And I'm like, let me look that up. I look it up and it's just like, if it's detected early, you could have a normal lifespan. It's like, oh, okay, that's concerning.
But hang on, that's like the worst case scenario thing, right?
Of course, they're not going to tell you the best case scenario, but yeah.
Hang on, are you okay or not? What are we talking about here?
I don't even know. I think I'm probably okay.
Okay.
I have to talk to like a phlebotomist.
About your flowers?
No.
Oh. Well, that's very confusing. Was it weird going to the doctor in the COVID era?
No, it wasn't that bad, actually. The people had masks on, and I had not gone to the doctor in a long time, and it made me very upset because they're like, okay, we'll do all the physical stuff, and I'm like sitting in this big dumb chair. Yeah. And they're like, all right, just kick your shoes off, and we'll weigh you. And I'm like, what? And then the chair just started lifting, and it's like the scale was built into this big chair that I was sitting in.
The hell are you talking about?
Is this why my insurance costs so much? Because these hospitals are buying giant chairs that do the same thing as like a scale that they've used since forever.
This is like Men in Black tech. What are you talking about?
Very dumb. Yeah.
This is absurd. Hey, we should take some calls from the community.
Well, you don't want to hear more about
I mean, it's freaking riveting, but I think we should probably get some calls going in here.
People are like, Cork's parents in the weather. That sounds like a better change of pace. It's some a-hole medical stuff. Yuck.
So if you are in the BetterQuest community in that Discord channel, and if you're on the Excel spreadsheet, we find cool goals, things that really stand out. We reach out to you. So regardless of what tier you're at, you don't have to be at the $20 tier, which is normally the call-in tier for MinnMax Council or other Patreon exclusive podcasts. The point is, if you're in that spreadsheet, there's a pretty good chance we'll reach out to you at some point and ask you to be on the show. So Cork, I'm going to be very clear.
Yes.
This caller,
oh no,
you know very well. I trimmed it out of the last episode, so so the
Did
world,
you really?
Yeah, so the world doesn't know exactly what we're talking about. But
that was mortifying.
I don't. Well, look, no, the way it was edited, it was just perfect.
Okay, good.
But we'll see if they actually pick up the phone. I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. Hello, Jason Dafnis.
Hello.
Hello, producer and co-host of CrossFade. Welcome, sir.
It's guy I know, Jason Dafnis.
Best guy I
It's
know.
Jason Dafnis.
Welcome, sir. How's it going?
Okay, how about yourselves?
Good. How is CrossFade, our music podcast, going?
Excellent. We've got a great guest lined up for our next episode. We're recording this coming Tuesday.
That's great. Dude, you should just say who the guest is, and if they fall out, it's their own fault.
Can I really?
Do it, dude.
Chris Remo, now of Valve, formerly of Camposanto, Firewatch, and Gone Home, etc.
Yeah.
He's going to be joining us for an episode.
That's so exciting. I'm a huge Idle Thumbs fan, so it's always like my favorite thing about CrossFade is like, yeah, when those guests work out, it's like, oh my God, I'm jealous. I want to talk to that person. Like, I've never really interviewed somebody like Jeff Green or really Alex Navarro. And it's like, it's so cool when that level of guest is on CrossFade. So I'm very excited to hear Chris Remo talk about music. And what album is he talking about?
He has picked Paul Simon's 1986 album Graceland, featuring the singles Graceland and You Can Call Me Al.
Oh, interesting. I'm curious to see how that goes. Jason, your goal last month was to write, let's see, I took notes, the greatest song ever written.
Oh, yeah. I do remember saying all of those words in that sequence.
Yeah. Before we listen to it, how did it go?
I think it went really well. It was an idea I'd been sitting on for a while, so it felt good to, I guess, expunge it. But it, it was... I only got the vocals done in the last, literal day of February, so they do not sound good, and I kind of buried them in the mix. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. It's not a pro job at all, but yeah.
Jeez, see, Cork, we should be so bold and as confident as Jason Dafnis. Like, if I was trying to set up the song that we're about to play, I'd be like, it could have been better. It didn't have that much time. Roll it. But Jason, you're really saying like, this is...
I'm really happy with it. If a song sticks in my head after I've written it, I take that as a sign of success. And this one, I haven't been able to stop listening to.
This had better be a setup for playing a Slipknot song. And then laugh so hard.
Ben's on the board. Hey, you take it away.
Yeah. Okay, here is there a name for the song?
I think I titled the MP3 that I sent you TZVECL because that's a combination of letters that I always see when I go to the eye doctor, and the lyrics are kind of about my failing sight and how I have glaucoma and ADHD and all these things crushing me in my late 20s.
Yeah. And how many songs have you written before? Like, I just really set this up.
Oh, geez. That anybody can hear anymore? Maybe a dozen or so that are actually live on the internet. But I just write ditties here and there. Maybe a few a month. They never see the light of day.
Okay. Well, let's take a listen to Jason Dafnis's big song here.
Yay.
You give a little, I'll give a little. Come on, let's get together. That's it.
And this is you on vocals, Jason Dafnis?
Yeah, just wait for the drop. You're getting in the way.
Let's get together, yeah. Why don't you and I combine? Let's get together, what do you say? We could have a swinging time. We'd be a crazy team. Why don't we make the scene together? Oh,
Yeah, I'm just
You've
a
got
huge
a
fan
lovely
of
voice.
Jerry Lee Lewis, and I feel like, hearkening back to the old days of rock and roll was really my calling for this one.
Right on. Well, congratulations for at least trying to get something out there. I don't know
Yeah,
if it'll work on Spotify or
it's
whatever.
about the
But
attempt. Yeah. Do I get a victory fanfare or something?
yeah, it sounds like this. What the hell, Jason?
It is loud. I did warn you it's loud.
Jason, that is the
there you have it.
That is the last thing I would ever expect from you. That is such a wildly
Really?
different sound than I was expecting.
I'm glad. I'm glad to have been a surprise. Yeah, it was really fun to put together. Like I said, most ideas that come to me come like as unplugged bass riffs.
Right.
So that's sort of where this song is centered. It's very simple, very straightforward, not really reaching too far.
That's wild. I really thought it was going to be like acoustic song. I don't know, you singing about your dog, or I was really expecting.
Do I get acoustic sing about my dog vibes? Do I look like Hank Williams?
I was feeling that. Cork, what were you expecting acoustically?
I was expecting to continue the way that it started.
Smart. Yeah, that's really smart.
Fun
No,
fact
you
that
remember like before it actually kicks in though. It's like a
Right.
The intro is actually my original voice demo for that song from a few years back. I just put those chords together and never had a melody or anything to go with them, and I just pasted them into the start there.
Oh, that's nice. Brian
I'm
with
so
the Y.
relieved that I like that because there are fewer things that make me less comfortable than listening to something that someone has put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I am
when you're
petrified
like
right now.
not
My hands
in
are
an audience
shaking,
where you
Jeff.
have like plausible deniability. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Cork, would you ever take this as a challenge for yourself some month?
No, I couldn't do that.
Well, of course not, but that's the goal, is to try and do something you didn't do before. Okay, maybe not. Anyways, Brian with the Y in the chat, Jason, says, it's a banger for sure. And Bob Beal in the chat says, bravo, Jason, the crowd goes wild.
That sounds like two people, not a crowd, but I do appreciate it.
The reviews are in. They're glowing. They're throwing rose emotes. It's really something.
Man.
Cool. Well, congratulations, Jason. Thank you for exposing yourself in the best way possible by playing this song for us to listen to.
Anytime. I will expose myself anytime before the BetterQuest crowd.
Fantastic. Well, please check out the new episode of CrossFade with Chris Remo that'll be airing next week. It's going to be great. Right, Jason?
Yes, it will. Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you so much, Jeff.
All right. Bye, dude.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Jason.
Goodbye. You want to keep this trainer rolling, Jeff Cork?
Let's do it. That was a really catchy song, actually. I like it.
I love that you liked it. Rafflepone is the community caller we're going to try out here. I believe they're new. Maybe not they're new. Maybe somebody else I'm thinking of. The one thing I do know about Rafflepone hates answering calls.
Notorious call ignorer.
Yeah. If he sees a call, he says nay. I've got better things to do. And by better things to do, I mean encourage people on BetterQuest to call somebody else. Which reminds me of somebody that I've been meaning to call. Are you ready for this community caller?
Yes.
All right. This, of course, is Wigsphere. The Wigsphere in the community Discord. Let's see if they like picking up the call. Hello, Wigsphere.
Hello.
Hey, how's it
How are
going?
you? Oh, it's going good. How are you?
Good. Your microphone sounded like it was on fire for a bit. You're good now?
Are we good?
Oh, you're so good. You're so good.
Oh, good.
Thank you for calling into the show. Was it confusing when I reached out and asked if you wanted to be on?
No, I was. I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
But I was happy about it. My daytime job is in media, and I've done lots of interview requests, so it was fun to be, I guess, on the other end.
Yeah. What's if you don't mind, what is your daytime job?
Well, my old daytime job is probably more interesting to people, but I worked as what is called a sports information director for the University of Tennessee's athletic department. So I would work with teams like swimming and diving and tennis and make sure all their stuff on their website was up to date, all the players, and then I'd travel with the team, write about the team, make sure everyone got their interviews, and I did all the stats and things like that. But I'm doing more work on the kind of more academic side of university communications now.
Huh. That's interesting. Well, that has nothing to do with your goal, though.
No, it doesn't.
Perfect. Hey, that's the point, is to expand to new areas. Your goal, this was last month, correct?
It was last month, but I had to punt it to this month, so it's what I'm right now.
Okay. Do you want to lay it out for us? What is it?
Sure. So the last about 6 or 7 months, whenever I started doing BetterQuest goals for myself, I've been trying to build up an online store for my art. And, I guess the first month was like finding a name, and then, getting a license, and then, all this stuff. And I finally launched my Etsy store at the beginning of the year. And I'm now wanting to create kind of a blog, kind of novel world for the mascot of my store. So my Etsy art store is Foxonaut Studios. So kind of like an astronaut fox.
Yeah.
And so I want to create a blog, kind of like a captain's blog of the fox's journeys to different planets. And like for each month, maybe she'll visit a different planet, and all the art for my store is going to be related to the planet that she's visiting. So if she were to visit a planet full of cats, I actually have a set of art posters of kind of like playing cards with cats. So like a king cat who has a mouse on his shoulder and things like that. And so I just want to be able to have a narrative that kind of goes along with what I'm creating art-wise.
That is so absurdly creative. It's so weird that, in the year 2021, we can still hear a new idea, but a narrative store or a narrative to a store, I don't think is something I've ever thought about. Cork? Am I nuts? Is that a thing?
Can't think of that.
Other than, I guess, Fortnite or something. That is so wild. Where did that idea come from?
I'm not sure, but as I've been really into like 1960s and 1950s era where every company had a mascot, and it's still like that in Japan,
Right.
Every city, everything has a mascot. But I wanted a store that had a mascot because I just love that look. And then once I created a character, I was like, this is an interesting character. I'd like to do some art just about the character, and then it kind of went from there.
That's so awesome. What is the store if people want to check that out?
Sure. Well, if you go to Foxonaut, that's FOXONAUT.com, that's the landing page that'll take you to my Etsy store. And that's also the website that's going to have the blog once I do my monthly goal of doing some writing.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations and best of luck with the writing.
Hey, real quick.
Oh,
I'm being a little sneaky snake. That's why I did not have an immediate response. And I am on your Etsy store right now. I love this, and I'm going to buy some of this. That musical dog with the banjo. I hope there's not another Foxonaut, because that would be very embarrassing for me.
That is my art. You have found the right store.
Yeah, it's the best. This is so good.
Thank you.
This is like, we're 2 for 2, where it's like someone is putting stuff out there and it's stuff that I like. So thank you for making stuff that I like.
You're welcome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for being, a member of the MinnMax community and for supporting us on Patreon. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm glad my microphone ended up working.
It's perfect. Thanks so much, Wakesphere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, look.
Seriously, look at this stuff.
I did look at it. It does. It has
really
kind of like
good.
an Animal Crossing like charm to it, I guess, or kind of like a Japanese sensibility. How would you describe it, smart guy?
I think it looks very cool and very cute.
It does look cute. Hello, Rafflepone.
How's it going?
Really good. Thanks for picking up the line. Sorry if this was confusing when I reached out to you out of the blue.
No, I'm on my music computer and I haven't installed Discord on it, but I have a better mic on here, so
Okay.
first time using it on here.
Oh, perfect. Well, thanks for being here. How did you get involved with BetterQuest? What's your history with the channel?
So I started out at the beginning. I was watching Game Informer, and then so I transitioned to MinnMax. Well, not transition. Watching both now.
Thank you.
And so I was really inspired by BetterQuest. So I've watched it. I think every month, most of them.
Yeah. What-
And sorry.
No, please. I was just going to interrupt you rudely. Go ahead.
yeah. So it was last month, I believe. There was about 2 or 3 music related goals, and it inspired me, frankly. So thought I'd jump in.
And so what was your goal then?
So it was to record a real live instrument. So usually when I record, I started recording more in earnest again after a couple of years of feeling, especially over the coronavirus, feeling a drought of inspiration. And so I picked it up earlier this January. And I had kind of gotten into a rut. They were all sounding sort of like pop rock, guitar driven tunes. And I thought, I have a xylophone here. I used to be a percussionist. And so I thought that would be kind of a fun challenge. I've never really recorded any live instruments before. So I thought I'd challenge myself like that.
That's sweet. And that, I think I have a link to this. Is it called 2821 Dreamy on SoundCloud?
Yeah. Sorry for the names.
No, that's fine.
Isn't it the hardest thing naming a song, be honest?
Oh, yeah. It's terrifying. I just name them dates and the vague genre, I think, of what it sounds like.
What a nightmare. I can imagine, like, you write a song that's like, then you're just like, now I got to write a headline for this that's going to sound either super pretentious
Yep.
and overwrought, or it's just going to be some throwaway thing that, Fart Symphony No. 4 or something, just to show how above it I am. I can't imagine nailing that. That'd be impossible.
Yeah, it's okay. I saw it on the second one. It's just the lamest names. So.
All right. I'm going to play it from the top. We're not going to go the whole thing, but let's get a sample
Sure.
here of what you put together. Hey, that's fantastic.
Oh,
Why are you
thank
just doing that all the time?
Yeah. Why would you ever stop playing music?
So I used to play live every week at a church, and then I used to play 2 summers ago at like houses and bars. And after the coronavirus hit, I stopped playing because I didn't want to get sick. So, and that kind of just drained it out of me. And it took a new year, I guess, New Year's inspirations, to pick it back up again. So
Yeah, well,
I'm glad I did.
congratulations. Yeah, that's really awesome. And so I was expecting like pure xylophone, but like the slow build to it, just kind of like subtly in the background. You made the xylophone cool, so congratulations.
Thank you. It's a hard task, but I'm glad I apparently met it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Anything you want from the future of MinnMax, or anything you want from the future of BetterQuest? How can we make our content better?
Oh man, this is the hardest question. It's great. I mean, it's really nice to see and hear you guys talk about this stuff and be open. And I don't know, that I don't have anything that comes to mind.
Okay, well, that's totally fine.
It's
Please
great.
let us know if you think of anything, and thanks for supporting MinnMax. We appreciate it.
Yeah, make more
course.
music. That was great.
All right, take care.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I can post it in the community content section if you'd like to hear more.
Yeah, and I'll have a link in the description for these things as well. But cool, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. We have another call to do. Isn't that nice, Cork, that we can just basically pick out somebody nearly at random from the BetterQuest community and they're just nice and pleasant?
I shouldn't have blown my lo-fi beats joke so early, because that seems like a perfect song for that, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
All right, next caller is the Smack, who I believe
Smack.
I just talked to on MinnMax Council. Hello, the Smack.
Hello,
Otherwise known as playing Final Fantasy VI for the first time.
that's me.
Welcome. Regular caller, man. We just talked to you.
Yes, hi.
Welcome back. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. You're also on with Jeff Cork. Don't ignore him, man.
Jeff Cork, hello.
Hello. So Final
fan.
Fantasy 3, huh?
I love your work.
Oh, thank you. It's always nice to meet a fan. Oh, boy.
Hey, hey, Cork. Do you feel like you're a good writer?
I think I'm all right. Yeah, I like what I write.
You like what you write? You feel like you've just been doing it for so long that you don't get too high in your own supply, but it's a matter of like, I know how to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I think there's always like room for improvement, but I think that I have developed myself as a writer over time.
Yeah, okay. That wasn't
Why?
as fruitful of a conversation I was hoping for. I don't know. I was just thinking about it. Hey, the Smack, your goal last month, I believe, was to get more comfortable in social situations or in confined spaces. Do you want to walk through that exactly?
Yes, I think it needs a little bit of background.
Sure.
For about 8 years now, I've had generalized anxiety disorder. And so basically what that means is even like the littlest things kind of feel like giving a speech in front of 100 people.
Right.
So one thing I've definitely struggled with is actually just going out to like stores or gas stations or fast food places. I just get really, really anxious, shaky, stumble my words. So I would always come up with excuses to avoid it or just order stuff online, because you don't have to. And then I realize it's not the best time to do it because it is during a pandemic, but
Right.
I feel like it's just hurting my overall mental health that I just need to tackle it now.
So how do you tackle it? What does that look like?
You just have to do it. That's pretty much it. So basically, if I need food, I just go to the grocery store. I just went inside and I didn't use the self-checkout lane. I did that a couple times. I went to the gas station a couple times, didn't pay outside. I went inside. I went to a couple of retro game stores and looked around, had conversations with the clerk. And at first, it felt impossible.
Right.
Like I on the way there, I wanted to turn around and say, I can just order stuff online. Don't worry about it. But you just have to get over that hurdle. And I believe that's it. It's that hurdle because you get the anxiety to the lead up, but when you're actually doing it, it's not so bad.
Yeah, I'm imagining that people listening to this are like, there's probably people that are listening to this that are too anxious to call in. And so it's interesting that you feel comfortable enough to call in to this show, but then it's like, but going to the grocery store, that's hard. Like, how is that different in your mind, do you think?
Well, here's the secret.
Ooh.
I got anxious about this call-in.
Well, there we go. Okay.
All the way up to it. So, coming home from work, you're like, oh no, it's BetterQuest tonight, and then you're feeling it. You're feeling it.
Yep.
And even to the point before the call-in, I actually had to mute the stream and minimize it. And then just kind of sit there and wait for the call-in.
Right.
But now that I'm on the call-in, I feel fine. There's no anxiety. I can just, whatever, man. I feel fine.
Be careful, because Jeff Cork is known for his jump scares, so I don't want to freak you out, but at any moment it might pop up. No,
that's interesting that, like, I have a lot of anxiety that, like, happens with driving. So you're saying, like, when your anxiety is like the interaction at the grocery store, I think we'd be a good team, because if you got me to the grocery store, I could take over from there quite easily. But, like, when I go somewhere, like, have to drive somewhere for the first time, it ruins me. Just like, I get really obsessed about parking and like getting lost. And
getting lost is a real big one for me.
Yeah,
man,
I would say like
I have to
GPS
take the
stuff
same,
is transformative. It's like liberated me, but like
take the same directions to work like every day, because if you take the wrong road, you're screwed.
Oh yeah. Like if there's like construction or a detour or something, it's just like I could just feel my heartbeat in my teeth, because I'm just like, oh no.
Do you think
I was not prepared for this?
Is that connected, Cork, to back when we used to travel together all the time at Game Informer? You were like, time out. I need to check into my flight the millisecond it's open, because I just need to make sure that that's taken care of. Do you feel like that's connected in your mind about just like, I cannot handle the stress of not being locked in?
There's like certain things that I know that are going to really like tear me apart if I don't take care of them. If there's things I could take care of, but like driving, like short of teleporting around, there's nothing I could do about it. I think that loss of control is what is the problem with me.
Yeah.
What?
The smack. I know exactly what you're talking about. Maybe not exactly. I don't know exactly. I've never been, I've had a lot of anxiety. I guess I was on medication for a while. I was going to say I haven't been diagnosed. The point is, I totally get it. Like, I am still petrified of interacting with people. Like, when I think about these scary situations, it's like, it's literally like going to the bank and interacting with like a bank teller. Like, that scares me to no end. Or even like I get coffee and just making that polite chit chat, I feel like my heart's going to jump out of its throat. And so it's, I don't know. I think it's probably a lot more common than you realize. Like, I even heard some comedian talking recently about that idea of just like, I can go on stage in front of thousands of people, but when it comes down to like one-on-one situations at a gas station, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. It's funny. I was thinking my youngest kid wanted an Attack on Titan t-shirt that he saw, and you could get it from Hot Topic. So we went to the mall and we went to Hot Topic, and they did not seem like they had it in stock. So I'm like, just ask the lady who already asked if we needed help. Ask her if they have any more of them, or if we are just not looking in the right place. And he started like freaking out, because kids don't like to talk to adults, and that bled over to me. And suddenly, like, now I'm like, oh no, I don't want to talk to the Hot Topic lady either. This is scary stuff. Now that the kid, his fight or flight like reaction totally spilled over to me, and like I was able to compose myself because I had to. But that kind of stuff is just the worst.
Yeah, I think I think it was on Pete Holmes's "You Made It Weird" podcast, but he always talks about this quote from Seinfeld, where Seinfeld talks about not being nervous on stage, and but he gets extremely nervous in other social situations. And he's like, when I'm on stage, I know exactly what my role is and what people want from me. But if I'm at a party, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, what is my role at this party? That's what stresses you out, is not knowing what your identity should be. Like, what are you providing there?
Yeah.
So I hope this has helped the smack. I mean, do you feel like you're just getting in the groove, and the goal now is just to stay in the groove of just not dodging those small interactions?
Yeah, it's that hump. It's that initial hump that you have to get over, that mountain. because once you get that, it's just you could slide down all the way.
Yeah.
Well, the worst is going to be like you're
climbing
going to go to the grocery store and they'll be like, "Boy, you're here a lot, aren't you?" And then it'll eat you alive. Like, oh no, oh god.
I'm not anonymous. That's it. The mask is getting bigger. It's going up over my eyes. It's just going to be a full hood at this point. Oh boy. Well, hey, best of luck. Oh yeah, you know something else to say?
Oh, real quick. I just wanted to say that the BetterQuest the channel has been really helpful. They've been giving me tips and just been really supportive about the whole thing.
Great.
And yeah, it's been fantastic.
Oh, great. Well, yeah, keep it up in there. Yeah, that's nice to see people are being supportive. Cool.
Oh, and then there's one more quick thing.
Yeah.
For my goal for this month, I'm going to double down on that, but I'm also going to try to identify what causes the anxiety, and maybe try to put it into a more realistic mindset. It's like, yeah, this did happen, or it could happen. How likely is it to happen, and was it really that terrible?
Right. Have you tried meditation?
I have, yeah. Meditation and breathing techniques really help because it helps you identify when you're supposed to be focusing on something, but when your mind kind of trails off, you're supposed to be able to identify when it trails off and then be able to pull yourself back.
Right.
Yes. So, yes, it's fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm glad it helps. Cool. Well, hey, thanks for calling in this, Mac. Do you have anything you want us to do in the future? Did I ask you this on MinnMax Council?
Just keep being awesome.
Oh, fresh. Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep, that's the signature sign off. We kick them down the pit. A lot of other people have fun goals here. My dog is Hip, is new to the BetterQuest community, and he is going to be practicing his Danish. He says he's fine at Danish, but not quite good enough. So that's his goal. Donnie Danico from last month, he says he achieved his February goal of finishing my novel. It's written, edited, and I've even sent query letters to several agents. Government agents. Michael Moran is going to learn all the flags of the world to be better at GeoGuessr. Psyduck Mantis, he's also new. Thanks for jumping in, Psyduck Mantis. His goal is to eat within a calorie limit every day, which seems bold. David Schneider is getting into 3D modeling, or getting better at 3D modeling, I should say. Demolisher is a man after my own heart. Maybe a man, is a username after my own heart, saying that they're doing a 1 hour walk right when they wake up, which
that's a great idea.
I love that, just immediately. I think I'm going to have to get back into running this summer, and that is the best thing to do, is just right out of the gate, no messing around.
You know how you do that? You put your morning coffee half a mile away from your bed.
Oh, don't talk to me on the top of my morning coffee. I went to get my morning coffee this morning, my decaf.
Delicious.
And they said, hey, would you like to buy some decaf coffee in support of this brewer who died from cancer? And I said, yes. I didn't really understand what was going on. This is probably back to the old anxiety thing.
I still don't understand what's going on.
That is basically what it is. I was like, yes, absolutely. And they're like, great. And then gave me like a bag of coffee grounds, and it was like $20. And his partner was like, I'm happy to donate to charity. I didn't know it was going to be a $20 bag of coffee, but hey, happy to do my part, Caribou. The point is, Jeff Cork, that Reed H in the community, he is going to learn to juggle this month, which sounds very fun. I'm very happy that I spent like a day as a kid learning how to juggle. Like I remember going down and just hanging out in my yard with 3 apples until I had it down loosely. Yeah. Do you know how to juggle?
Nope. I don't know how to do that.
You should.
It looks very, very easy.
You think so? It's really fun. Like it turns out it's good. That'd be a good one. Do you have like a list of upcoming BetterQuest ideas?
Not really a list. I just have stuff kind of percolating in the back a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. And you're never scared of forgetting stuff?
Honestly.
Yeah.
What?
I'm always scared of forgetting everything. I have to write everything down.
I had a joke that I wanted to make earlier, and I'm afraid it's too late.
No, go ahead.
But the guy who's brushing up on his Danish.
Yeah.
I was going to say he can read the Lego instruction manuals in their original language.
That's pretty funny. Hey, brushing up on Danish? Normally I have a Danish and then I got to do some brushing. You know what I mean?
Yes, cheese, cherry,
that's
lemon,
what I'm
yummy.
talking about. Hey, comedy, forget about it. Just speaking of previous goals and stuff, I am still amazed how much katakana is coming up in my life, Cork. It is
Really?
like, now I am thrilled every time I see it. It's just like, dumb tweets, it'll pop up. But the biggest one was they released the Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack on Spotify.
Yes.
And all of those titles, well, a lot of those titles have katakana in them. And so that's the only way you can read what it is. So it's like, what is this word? Then I have to slowly translate it. It's like, oh, it's the honeybee suite. And I get to actually read that. It's very fun, Cork. I recommend learning katakana. It's just a delight. Hey, it's time to set new goals. This is a segment we call New Goals. Jeff Cork, what is your new goal, dude? What are you thinking?
This is one
No, don't have that bad attitude.
No, I feel it's not. I'm excited about it in a way. I think that having that physical. Let's go back to that because people seem to really enjoy hearing about that. I need to. Well, the doctor said I got to lose some weight, so now I have to. Right?
How do they phrase that?
She puffed her cheeks out.
No.
And then stuffed an entire newspaper under her shirt and waddled around, and she said, "This is you, sir."
No.
Which I felt was very rude.
That's out of
And then
line.
she pushed a button, and the weight chair shot me through the roof.
Oh my God.
Landed on my fat butt next to my car. Yeah, super sucked. And they said, "Come back in, we need your blood."
No, but what did they say?
She was like, "Well, here's your BMI. This is what it is. This is what we like it to be." And I was like, thinking to myself, I hit the threshold where I could get a vaccine early.
Really?
Underlying medical condition. So I seem to have accidentally gamed the system.
Jesus. So what's the goal then?
Basically, I think it's a boring goal, but I think it's one that will honestly be good. I'm having a hard time articulating what it is. I just need to get a handle on my health just overall a little bit. So I think I'd like to figure out what's going on, because I was looking at some of this stuff, and it's like one of the big symptoms is fatigue. And I'm like, oh my God, if this is why I'm always tired and crying, that would be fantastic if I could like figure that out. So I just need to like, overall, I'm trying to think of like a way to benchmark it.
Why don't you just focus on like the weight thing, and then everything else is just kind of like a nice byproduct?
Yeah, I'll do that then. Let's go for. I hate putting a number on it, but let's go 10.
Okay, I feel like you've done this before. Like, what's your strategy this time around?
This time, honestly, I feel like where I screw up is I'm gonna eat more kale as a salad component.
Right.
And I don't like kale. So I think I'm gonna like baby spinach. I think that might be the key.
Have you tried like crispy kale? Like,
is that where you fry it?
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend always does. I don't know what she
bake it?
does. It's very good though.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down. Crispy kale.
Yeah, it's like
question mark?
Because she makes like kale chips.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sweetheart!
Oh boy.
She thinks this is part of the podcast. She's not answering.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Stomp.
What is your kale chips thing? How do you make those?
I roast them in the oven with olive oil.
She roasts kale in the oven with olive oil, and then it's like a healthy snack?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So do that, Cork, because it tastes good.
Does she have numbers, or just roast it?
Do you have numbers?
425 for like 10 minutes.
She says 425 for 10 minutes.
All right.
And that's the secret recipe.
So I can go 850 for 5.
Do you want to hear
little life hack there? Cool.
Do you want to hear a weird story, Cork?
Yes.
That's my favorite story. It's not mine though. It is my friend's story. My friend Jesse. I don't know if you know him, but he said that in high school he went over and hung out at this guy's house, and no joke. Well, okay, I'll change his first name. Let's say this guy's name was Alex Doobie. His last name was Doobie, and he's very into smoking weed. And he said he went over to his house, and they were high, And they're just hanging out playing video games or whatever. And then this Alex Doopy guy, he gets a frozen pizza and he's like, sorry, it's not that funny. But he's like, he's looking at the instructions of how to cook this pizza and it's like, okay, 20 minutes at 420 degrees or whatever the hell it is. And he's like, I'm not going to preheat the oven. I'm just going to do this stoner style. And so he just puts the oven on max and puts the pizza in. And then, believe it or not, it was burned and he pulled it out. And so then he was so proud of it. He's like, hey, we got the pizza early. He goes, stoner style. And he bites into the pizza when it's still super hot.
Oh no!
And he's like, ah! And my friend said that literally then blood was coming from his mouth because he burned the inside of his mouth so horribly trying to eat pizza stoner style.
Stoner style. Oh no!
He'll be missed. Anyways,
that has to be one of the best, or at least most drastic, demeanor changes. I would imagine is cool Matthew McConaughey stoner style delivery, and then achimashi. Oh. All right.
Oh boy. Anyways, my goal this month, Cork, I'm trying to alternate between a physical and mental goal and stuff.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know. And so mine's going to be mental this time around, but I think I'm going to keep up a lot of the past goals and keep those running too. Just why not, But this time around, I'm going to do something that I ask people to do all the time, which is support some media. And I'm going to support some media by subscribing to newspapers. I'm going to start reading newspapers. I'm going to get
just all of them.
Yeah, like Sarah Palin. Deep cut politics is neat. Yeah, so I'm going to subscribe to the Star Tribune, the Minneapolis paper, and I'm going to try and read at least one article every day. Look, you're a newspaper hound. You understand how this works. But I'm also going to do something that I've never done, which is subscribe to the New York Times. I'm going to get the weekly edition and then read that on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so getting into newspapers. Does that seem like a fine goal?
That's a great goal.
Oh, thanks so much. Do you read newspapers?
I have not in a while, no. And that wasn't for lack of trying. When we moved, we have a newspaper subscription forever. And then delivery people seem very disinterested in delivering the paper every day.
Yeah.
And then you call the number to say, hey, we didn't get our paper. They may as well have just said so. It seemed like that was generally the attitude. So at a certain point, we're just kind of well, if we're paying this money for a newspaper we never get,
yeah,
how about we just don't pay for it and don't get it? But I think we have a digital subscription to the New York Times. So
oh, really? Okay, so you don't have that annoying pop-up all the time on their site?
No.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Look at you, la-di-da. Yeah, it's kind of tying into. I just kind of feel bad about I've been listening to Minnesota Public Radio my entire life. I've never given them any money. Maybe I should also give them money and rope that in as well. Just kind of an overall supporting local media. The New York Times, as Minnesota as it gets.
Times, exactly.
All right. I think that's it for this episode of BetterQuest. Anything else you wanted to hit on, Cork?
No. I feel good about this.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I'll give you next month I can tell you all about that trip that I took and all that stuff. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, and then you can maybe get 2 level ups in 1.
There you go, baby.
Because you know what we like to say here.
Level up.
Love to level up. All right, cool. Thanks so much, everybody. Let's see. Things. Yeah, support us on Patreon and compete in Trivia Tower. It'll be coming up real soon. Otherwise, we have the Deepest Dive on Batman Arkham Asylum going live next week, so you can join us for that. There's details on the YouTube channel. Cool. Thanks so much, everybody. Until next time, be good, have fun. Let's go.
Bye.
If you are sick of snark, clickbait, and an avalanche of movie news, you can help support independent games media by subscribing to MinnMax's YouTube channel here or checking out the benefits over on Patreon. It's a nice, clean handshake. You support us, and we won't make dumb, condescending stuff for you. Your support helps us continue our mission of focusing on games, friends, and getting better. Patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. We'd appreciate it.